everybody! I'm Drew from the Ditwicks.
I'm Raisin from the Ditwicks.
And today we are going to be talking about our favorite Pokemon regions.
Yes, all 8 of them.
All 8 of them.
8 of them.
Which Scarlet and Violet is coming out, but we cannot judge those yet because they are not out yet.
They look kind of bad.
They look bad.
The trees.
Oh, the trees in Scarlet and Violet?
I have no idea. I don't know. I was making a joke.
You know, I haven't seen the trees in Scarlet and Violet.
We gotta look at the trees.
I want to look at the trees now.
Hey.
Because that was a big controversy when Gen 8 was coming out, or when it actually was out.
Hey, what are you doing in this game?
Oh, I'm shiny hunting Weedle.
Why aren't you doing it in Sword and Shield, Drewer?
Because Weedle does not exist in Gen 8.
Thanks, Game Freak.
Yeah, so that's another thing we're going to be talking about, our dislikes and likes of every gen. Me and Raisin have made a top 8 list of, you know, what our favorite gen is.
We've ranked the regions.
And we are going to start from the very bottom.
Very bottom.
Oh, I do not like the bike in this game.
It's so perpendicular.
I wish all the Pokemon were in that game, because I don't know how much...
It's so perpendicular. You move in only straight lines.
Yeah.
Even diagonal is so straight.
I can't... Look, this is a circle. Look at the frame rate of that circle.
Brother,
it looks like a drop in frame rate.
You're making an octagon.
I'm making a full octagon. I can't make a circle.
That's
that's
what you was doing.
It's so annoying to hatch eggs in this game.
So we also asked you guys on Twitter what you guys' favorite regions were, and did you ask why?
Yes, I
have us explain why. To why that region is your favorite. We'll make a list of what I don't know what he did.
I asked what everyone's favorite gen/region is.
There you go.
Because that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on. We're considering every region a specific gen.
Yes. So we're going to be reading a lot of you guys' comments to see what kind of regions you guys like and why and what appeals to you guys. And the way we did it was, of course, we have remakes now. So, an example for BDSP, that will count as
Gen 4.
Generation 4.
Even though it came out in Gen 8. For
Sinnoh. We're doing it based off the story it is. So this is a Gen 4 story, but Gen 8 game, technically.
And you could argue that this isn't even a remake. I think they really just took the game,
they copied and pasted
HD to it, and then put it in the Switch.
It's a copy-paste.
It's really a copy-paste.
So that's what we're gonna do for all the remakes. So Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, that's gonna be considered Gen 3 or Hoenn, and then Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Leaf Green, Fire Red, their respective regions in which they are based in.
So like when it came to Arceus is a weird game. It's not a specific generational game. It's almost like a kind of like a side game to the original regions, even though it introduced new Pokemon. It was just, it was almost like Let's Go, if Let's Go introduced new Pokemon.
I'll tell you what, I did not consider Let's Go in my list.
Yeah, I would consider that Gen 1. Because it kind of is like a Gen 1 game.
So you could argue Legends is Gen 4. Maybe. It's set in the Gen 4 region, but I don't know.
Before we list our opinions, I'm going to be reading what everyone else put. So the first one is Shadowborn, and they said Gen 5, best gameplay in any Pokemon game, best evil team, Hydreigon and Haxorus, so very cool. I like how they mentioned both of our favorite dragon Pokemon and that one.
I can agree.
Which we can fully agree with.
I can agree with 2 of those.
Gen 5. Oh, so what do you disagree with that comment?
With that Gen 5?
Yeah.
I agree with Hydreigon and Haxorus, so very cool. That is. Yes, correct. You are correct, sir.
Do you think they had the best evil team?
I don't think they had the best evil team.
Oh, really? I thought you would give big props to the evil team.
I'm
very curious to what you think the best evil team is.
Well, I didn't really consider that one. The best evil team. It's a toss-up for me, I think. I really love Team Aqua and Team Magma. And then I think I'll have to give it to Team Galactic.
Really?
I think I'll have to give it to Cyrus. Yeah.
Okay.
Because my man did it.
He
straight up did it. He was on the verge. He got, like, in Platinum, I'll say, he got Dialga and Palkia. The sky went all that.
Do that, yep.
And oh my goodness, like, he did it. Like, it was... Man was about to end the world.
Let me just say my favorite team is Team Aqua. Specifically because they also accomplished their goal, you know?
They made it rain.
They made it rain. They were going to flood the earth. And then they... I love Archie's realization after he got his wish.
See, like...
Oh, crap. I didn't know this would cause rain.
Yeah, see...
I just wanted to flood the earth, not flood the earth. Like, what did you think was going to happen? You really accomplished your goal and then regretted it immediately. Like,
yeah, that's probably why
that's
Aqua...
my favorite, just because his stupid realization.
That's why Team Aqua and Team Magma aren't my favorites.
Because you think their goal was stupid.
Because of the oh crap.
I can understand more land.
Okay. Because
the Earth is 75% ocean.
Look at Hoenn, water.
Yeah, it's 75% ocean. So like, yeah, Team Magma, good goal, make more land. But Team Aqua, you already had it. You already had it in your favor.
It was the realization for me that it was the oh crap realization. I'm like, well, come on. But Cyrus, he intended to go that far.
Yeah.
My man wanted to, and he did go that far. So that's why, like, he's my favorite evil team leader.
That's pretty next level villain. I must say.
He was about to, like, just destroy the world, create a new one. I'm like, bro, we doing this right now? Okay, sir.
Next comment is Avernew. And he said Sinnoh/Diamond/BD. Cool Pokemon and first game.
There you go.
You know, if we didn't start in Gen 3, that would have been our first game. It was the first game that I got to see come out. And I actually pre-ordered when I was like 8 years old, I believe.
Okay.
Did you pre-order that game?
No, I didn't.
When did you find out about Diamond and Pearl?
Let's see, because I first got into Pokemon because my friend who lived across the street from me, or his grandparents lived across the street from me, he had Pokemon Emerald. I've never played a Pokemon game in my life at that point. So he let me play it, and I remember we were in Slateport, and, like, he was at the museum, and he's like, don't go into the museum because I don't want to waste money. $50, by the way. So, dude, if you're watching, just know, $50. But
which is really like 50 cents in this game.
True.
Like in yen wise.
Yep. So I was just running around, just encountering all the Pokemon around. I'm just like, I freaking love this. So I went out and bought my own Emerald. And I don't think I got Diamond and Pearl when they came out. Because I remember I got a DS, I think the following Christmas. And they got me like little game cases, like little packs of like 3. Yeah. And they had like little placeholders, like little paper things in there. And one of them was Pokemon Diamond, so it was already out. So I think it was the Christmas after they came out.
Okay, interesting.
But I can't remember when exactly I got Diamond.
So I think I got into Pokemon before you did. Well, you are a year younger than me too, though.
I'm a little baby.
Well, that wouldn't matter in terms of games coming out. I think it was when I was buying Emerald. The guy at the counter, which was GameStop. Woo. I don't even know if that GameStop's still there anymore.
Back in the day.
The dude up front, he says, there's a new Pokemon game coming out. I'm just like, what?
There's more?
Like, I really like that he told me, and then he showed me, like, this little brochure. Like, they had a cute little brochure about, like, all you would get when you pre-order a game. You don't get as much good stuff when you pre-order games anymore.
I know.
Because it came with a full Dialga stylus. Not just the head of a Dialga. Like, the full body on the stylus. Let's see. It came with, I think, a case cover. It was a good pre-order, and like it described like everything that was gonna happen in the game so well.
Yeah, they spoiled us back in the day.
Oh yeah,
they really did.
I need to see if the volume is down on BDSP. It might not be. If that's the case, they're gonna hear these annoying eggs for this part of the video. Hopefully it's not that loud if it is on.
Let me check. I'm not seeing anything.
Are you seeing our own? Okay, there's our own volume. Which
yeah.
It looks like it's going.
I didn't see anything else.
I'm gonna double check.
You double check.
Just in case. But yeah. So that's 2 comments down. I'm gonna say let's read Not let's read. Sorry, my mind's going numb after thinking that. Let's go down our list.
Okay. Well, we start with our least favorite.
Yes, our least favorite. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
So your 8th slot. Can I guess it before you say it? Because I think me and you have the same one.
Okay. Go ahead, champ.
Sun and Moon.
No.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
It was tough
because when you first started playing the game, you kind of just stopped
because I got bored.
And you never did that with any other game before.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you change your mind?
I think, well, I'll say my least favorite game or region, I'd say. And it's, I hate to do this. I hate to do this to this game because it had so much potential.
My second guess is X and Y.
Yep. Kalos.
Why?
Why?
Not X and Y.
I hate to do it because there's a lot of Pokemon in there that I really like Florges and Aurorus. Is Delmise? Is that?
That's Sun and Moon.
Okay, never mind. There's a lot of Pokemon in there I like, but like the story of X and Y, the game is just so full of potential. I don't know. I feel like X and Y could have been so much better, but that was the game where it started. I'll call it hand holding. So it's like an easy game.
I agree with that.
Which I don't like.
Growing up on earlier gens, Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, all those felt pretty
You wanted
balanced.
to train, you better get in that grass, big man.
There wasn't much hand holding. Holding. There wasn't any hand holding in the first 4 gens. I'm gonna count Gen 5 as well. Like Gen 5 was hard. I remember doing Gen 5 for the first time and not being able to beat the Elite Four. I just wasn't trained good enough.
See, like Gen 5, like they gave you better training methods. Like there was like a shaking grass option, and in those grass you can majority of the time find Audino, which is the Gen 5 Chansey. So it gives a crap ton of XP.
But at the time, I didn't know that.
And they also gave you a Lucky Egg, which is, oh goodness me, that made time so much better, especially for Hydreigon. But still, you had to run around, wait for the shaking grass, and then go to it. Like you had to put in some work. But starting in Gen 6,
Gen 6
it was the
easy.
it was the EXP share thing.
Yeah, they introduced the EXP share.
Where it gave XP to
all Pokemon.
Every Pokemon in the world and their mother.
I remember playing it for the first time. It was not hard to beat the Elite Four.
It was not.
I did not have any trouble.
I didn't.
And
I had barely made it. I wasn't even at the Elite Four. I was already like level 60. Yeah. I'm like, bro, why is this a thing?
every single generation before that, the Elite Four always gave me trouble. It was hard to get through. Gen 6, easy. Gen 7, easy.
Gen 8, easy.
So I guess I understand that being the origin of hand-holding, and that's why it's so low on your list.
It started making the game so super easy. And it's, I'll be honest, Alola is not that far behind. Because, well, we'll get to Alola in a bit. But Gen 6 did have Mega Evolution.
Which is a good feature I actually like now.
It's a great feature.
I think everybody disliked it when it first came out. Because everyone's like, why?
I was one of those people.
I was too.
Why?
I was like, why do that?
Like, why are you doing this?
I don't like new gimmicks. I kind of just like to stay in the old.
But it's my favorite gimmick now. It's my favorite gimmick.
It's the only gimmick I want back.
It's the only one I like. It's the only gimmick I really like.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't care for Dynamax back. I'm not caring for the Crystal one that's coming in Gen 9.
Z-Move, I hated. Dynamax, mid. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
they look different. Close to Mega Evolution. They look different. Close.
I like how big Pokemon is possible in the universe now. Like, it's not just, mythology anymore. It actually has an explanation, which I think is cool.
And then this whole crystal thing.
Crystal.
It seems mid to me.
See,
it seems low mid to me.
I don't mind the mechanic of it. I just hate the hat accessories. I don't want a giant cupcake. I don't want a wedding cake on my head.
But it's cute.
With candles.
Yo, I want a Gigantamax Alchemy with the wedding cake on top of it.
A wedding... It's on top of a wedding cake.
Yes.
And then its hat is also a wedding cake.
Yes, I want
it. It's just too much cake hats.
I would love that.
We don't need all that.
That would make it worth it for me. But Kalos is last because the evil team, Team Flail...
I gotta say, I don't remember much of Team Flare.
Like, the admins, they looked all the same, but had different colored hair. I don't remember them at all. And the evil team leader, Lysander, you don't battle him the entire game, and then in the last, 20 minutes of the evil team plot, you battle him, 3 times. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much.
Yeah, I guess I understand that.
And they had so much lore built up. Kalos is lore heavy. And I feel like there could have been so much more with that. Like, there was a whole Pokemon war and everything. Like,
yeah,
the
that
king,
was cool.
The king, AZ, with his Floette, or Flabebe, whatever. Floette. It was Floette. Mm-hmm. Like, you battled him at the end, and his Floette came down. But we don't know, much about him.
Yeah, they keep most of it a secret.
They kept him underground. You go into Lysander's or Team Flail's base, you'll just walk through, and here's a giant man.
And there's no explanation why he's that big.
He's just, good lord. And, they say, he's immortal and stuff. There was so much lore, they didn't really do anything with it. And then the fabled Pokemon Z was supposed to come out, and then it got canceled. If Pokemon Z came out...
Do you think it got canceled? I think they never started product on it.
I like to think they did. And it got canceled. Because if you make a Pokemon X and a Pokemon Y, you can't...
I feel like Pokemon Z is a missed opportunity.
You cannot expect people to not think about Pokemon Z.
Whenever people are predicting what Game Freak will do, Game Freak likes to deliberately do the opposite.
Yeah.
To keep people guessing. Like, oh, since you guys did Gen 3 remakes, that means this amount of years after will be Gen 4 remakes, right?
Ha!
It's like, okay, everybody get ready. They're going to make Gen 4 remakes. And they're like,
let's go!
We're just not going to make it now because you expected it.
We're going back to Kanto!
Goodness me. They hate being predictable, so they purposely give people what they don't want.
See, I feel like they knew that when they made X and Y, though. When someone pitched the idea of, let's do Pokemon X, Pokemon Y.
I feel like they had the idea, and then when everybody predicted that there will be a Pokemon Z, they're like, "Oh, joke's on you! We're not even making that game."
Like, scrap the idea, scrap it now.
Yeah, just scrap it. Yeah. We're not predictable in the slightest.
But
we're making black and white. Oh, so now Gen 4 is coming out, everybody. Joke's on you! Where's black and white 2? Black and white 3.
They remade. Oh, Black and White 3. Yes,
we got you.
I would love that, actually. Black and White 3? Hold on!
What if... Dude, I would prefer a Black and White 3 instead of full Gen 5 remakes. There's a thought.
I would like that as opposed to, this kind of remake. Like a BDSP
Oh, God,
remake.
yeah. Oh, God,
I
yeah.
don't want copy-paste.
This is the reason why I will never ask for another remake from Game Freak.
Now, I'll say, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Gen 6. They came out, after X and Y. If we included Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire on Gen 6, then Gen 6 would have been pushed up for me. Because I love those remakes.
Yeah, but I count them as Gen 3.
I mean, since we're doing that. Because...
Since we're basing it off the regions themselves, because it's favorite region/gen.
Yeah, so that's why Kalos is so down low for me, because Kalos had so much built up to it, and they built up so much in the game, and then they stopped. To me, anyways. I love playing through it. Like I said, it's got so many dope Pokemon, but all those dope Pokemon can't carry the entire region for me, personally.
I have more opinions on X and Y, but I think I should just say it when I get to it.
We can get that when we get to it on your list.
So my least favorite region is Alola. And I thought me and you were going to agree on that one.
Alola's not too far behind, brother. It's okay.
I'm sorry if your guys' favorite region is Alola, which I've read some of your comments in advance, and it is. Personally, for me, there was way too much hand-holding. You guys probably heard this before. The cutscenes, too many at the beginning. The main appeal for a Pokemon game, for me specifically, is me creating my own adventure, creating my own team. And this game was just like, oh, everything is already set in stone. You don't have to add any creativity of your own character. Your character is made up for you. And I'm like, and then they just put hours and hours and hours of dialogue in the first first part of the gameplay, and I just want to tell everybody, shut up.
Let me go.
Let me go. I know what a Pokemon is. I am 10 years old. I can do it. I can get through this. Talking about my character, not me in real life.
Of course.
I'm a little bit older.
He's 12.
But yeah, the Pokemon designs in Gen 7, not my least favorite. I don't think I had any negative outlooks on them. I think they all look pretty good.
Are you about to tell me Pyukumuku looks good?
I don't have a problem with Pyukumuku.
What?
It looks exactly like it should be.
What?
It's a sea cucumber.
What?
They gave it more personality than a normal sea cucumber.
What?
So, yeah, there was that. I didn't like the removal of gyms. I didn't like the challenges. I don't like... My main thing that I love in Pokemon games is battling.
Yeah.
Not, go do this, go over here, go do that. And then you have to fight... I mean, you get to fight at the very end of the big weird challenge that they set up. But even after you beat it, it doesn't feel like much of an accomplishment. Gym badges, they feel like something. Like there was an actual trainer with actual skill that you just actually beat. And I don't know, so I didn't like that aspect. And what was the gimmick?
Z-move.
Z-moves? Least favorite gimmick of every Pokemon game. No one ever talks about Z-crystals, and when they do, it's in a negative light. The game was already easy, so Z-crystals, if you ever use one, you realize there's a easier mode than easy mode.
It just one-shots everything.
It literally one-shots everything. Like, it takes away any tiny little challenge the game had left.
And I thought the little movements they did before they did that move, I'm like, stop!
Yeah, it kind of
just use it.
It kind of reminds me of Fortnite dances, which I'm not a big fan of. I'm sorry if you guys are, but
calm down.
I mean, the only time I enjoy a Fortnite dance is when he does it to be funny.
I don't do it that often. When do I do Fortnite dances?
You do it sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I've seen you do it.
Okay.
When you're not looking.
When I'm not looking.
Let's read more comments.
Okay.
Cybernet X.
Here comes someone saying their favorite region's Alola.
My favorite Pokemon region is Alola.
There we go.
Wow, really nice. I just absolutely love Alolan Pokemon like Sandslash. Now, that is something that I will say...
Sandslash is Kanto.
Yeah, but it's Alolan, though. They introduced regional Pokemon, which is a good thing. And I think everybody liked that. There wasn't any controversy like when Mega Evolution came out. It was, oh, that's really cool. That's actually how real evolution works. There's actually different versions of a Pokemon.
Let me tell you the problem I have with that one. It was only Kanto.
I never really thought about it.
It was only Kanto Pokemon.
And...
Because
Raisin's more on the side of getting annoyed whenever Gen 1 comes up again for the 100th time. Because they always revisit.
So we've had Red and Blue. Gen 2 came out. You went to go visit Kanto again. Which was dope.
Then Yellow.
And then we got Yellow. Which I didn't play, so I won't really spend too much time there.
Fire Red and Leaf Green.
We had that.
Which I wanted.
Those were my first Kanto games.
Yes.
And then Heart Gold Soul Silver came out. And having never played Gold Silver Crystal, go through Johto, then you get to go to Kanto. I'm like, oh, shoot, Sunny.
Yeah.
Cool. And then here comes Let's Go.
So, how many times did we get to go back to Kanto? There's the original, which is 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow, 2. Johto, 3. Let's Go, 4.
And then 5 Red Leaf Green, 5.
5. So we get Gen 1 5 times, and we've only got our other favorite games maybe twice if we're lucky.
Yeah. So like the Alolan forms,
and then on top of that, they always give way too much love to the starters, because X and Y, they're like especially Charmander.
Yeah, there it is.
And this game that Raisin's playing is proof of that. They put Charmander in there, even though Bulbasaur and Blastoise were not.
I love them. They put only Charmander in the main story of this game, Sword and Shield, and you didn't get Bulbasaur and Squirtle until the first DLC.
Yeah.
Put them in! If you're gonna put them in, put them all in.
Gen 1ers, they have hard nostalgic for Gen 1.
And listen, I understand.
Game Freak understands that, and they like...
I get
they
it.
favorite hard.
I get it.
I never had a problem with the Gen 1 Alolans.
Like, listen. I don't have a problem with them being there. It's just the fact that it was only Gen 1 Pokemon that got regional forms in that game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're
Eradicate,
right.
Ninetales, Muck,
Executor,
Raichu.
Yeah, you're right.
Persian.
It was all Gen 1.
Meowth!
If they're going to experiment on certain Pokemon,
Do more.
I guess experimenting on the favorites will get the most positive
Do more.
feedback.
There's
more to this comment, though. I just absolutely love Alolan Pokemon like Sandslash, Ninetales, Decidueye, which is not it's not a regional form,
It's technically a Alolan.
but it's a Alolan Pokemon.
Okay.
So Decidueye, Zeraora, Buzzwole, and the Tapus. It has the best designs for Pokemon, in my opinion, and despite the excessive hand-holding, which he agrees with me on, and cutscenes, it has a great story.
Well,
I mean, think about the evil team. Like,
what was the evil team?
Team
Skull. Get out. No.
I'm not thinking of Team Skull. I'm thinking of
the woman.
Yeah, I'm thinking of her because she was the real threat of the game.
Okay, she was
opening wormholes.
She got possessed by a jellyfish.
Which I don't like the Ultra Beast. That's another reason why Gen 7 is my least favorite. I hated the Ultra Beast. I don't consider it as a Pokemon, which I mean you can kind of say it's not, but it still has its own Pokedex number, so it's weird because they're Pokemon from another dimension.
I think
so. It makes sense that they look so weird and not like Pokemon, but they still count as a Pokemon, so it's kind of like I still don't
to be fair, if I didn't know. If I knew Pokemon, but I've never played like Alola, if I stopped at like Gen 5, let's say I stopped at Gen 5, and you showed me like a picture of Naganadel, I'm like, that's a Pokemon.
Naganadil's cool. Naganadel is like my favorite.
Naganadel is the only Ultra Beast.
Now what if I showed you? What if I showed you a picture of I forget his name. UB? No,
that stands for Ultra Beast.
Oh. What's the one with the clown head?
Blacephalon.
Now, if I showed you a picture of Blacephalon, what would you have thought?
Probably, honestly, I'd probably be like, is that like a new mascot from McDonald's or something? What is this? I could probably boil it down to a Pokemon, but I probably wouldn't be like, that's something in a Pokemon game, but it isn't a Pokemon.
Like all the Ultra Beasts to me, they don't look like much of Pokemon. Sakataka kind of looks like a Pokemon. But most of them look like Yu-Gi-Oh characters, honestly.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So that's my first thought when looking at Ultra Beasts. So again, that's my personal opinion. That's what we're talking about today is personal opinions. Next comment is Rival Indigo.
What's up, dude?
Kanto, Pokemon Yellow, after we just talked about Gen 1.
Rival Indigo now. Come on.
Being the original region and all the best mons, it captured all the magic and charm of the world of Pokemon in its simplest yet most creative form.
Whoa, all the best Pokemon. Whoa.
Simplest and most creative form.
Simplest, yes.
Would you agree, most creative?
As in terms of Pokemon design?
Because I don't feel like Gen 1 had much lore behind their designs. Newer Pokemon have, like, lore to why they are specifically how they are.
Like, the first thing I think of is Banette. how it's like a ghost went into a doll or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's more creative than most Gen 1
Like,
Pokemon.
there's some
Because,
theories...
like, Krabby is just crab.
A crab.
Seal is just a seal.
Seal.
Rattata is a rat.
A rat.
Like, it's definitely simple. Would I call it the most creative? No.
I wouldn't say the most creative.
It was amazing for its time because it started this whole, Pokemon hype.
Listen.
I played Gen 1 more than any other Pokemon game. I beat that thing like at least 20 times.
Listen, I wrote in my because I have the list. I have the 1 through 8 list, and then above it I have different what do I call it?
Brackets.
No, not brackets. Like different like
Numbers.
I have different things that like make the region for me that I think of when I think of Kanto. These are what I think of. When I think of Johto, these are what I think of. Listen, in my Kanto, I put the champion's theme slaps.
It does.
It slaps.
Good
Other
music.
than that, generic music.
I like my first time playing Gen 1. I did really enjoy it because it felt older. It almost felt like I was going back in time when I played it. Because, like I said, my first game was Gen 3, and I never really played the original Red and Blue. It was I got Fire Red first, and then also Leaf Green, specifically because I wanted to play Gen 1.
Kanto is a good base game.
Yes.
To start with. I'll agree with that. Like, it's a great starting game for Pokemon. It was. But would I say it's the best? You. I would not.
And I would say that for, like, any series. Like, Uncharted 1, good base game, good story.
Right.
But Uncharted 2 and 3, I like better.
I play Uncharted 2 before I play Uncharted 1.
Exactly.
Probably even before I play Uncharted 3 and 4.
But, like, you can't have that without starting somewhere.
Yeah.
And that was a good base game. So, like, other than Game Freak's constant, hey, we know you like Gen 1. Here's Gen 1 for the 8th time.
Yeah,
Other than that, I don't have a problem with Gen 1 at all.
Yeah, which of you are doing that? Which of you are telling Game Freak you like Gen 1?
Yeah, that's
Rival
that's the only.
Indigo.
I mean, I feel like that's the only problem both of us have is they're pushing.
It's too much.
Gen 1, and we never get to see
Where's Johto?
favors from other games.
Where's Dunsparce?
Let's read one more comment, and we'll go to our seventh number.
Okay.
Oh, this is a pretty long one, actually.
Oh, shucks.
This is from Gabriel on Twitter. He says, Kanto base game. Which we said base a few times ago.
What, red and blue?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I just love everything about that region, how Rock Tunnel and Victory Road are long and hard if you're not prepared enough.
Okay, there you go. Okay, he said...
He likes the
hard and tough.
difficulty.
Okay.
Which is something that a lot of fans of our age ask for.
Tip my hat to you, sir.
If you're not prepared enough. Have the right tools, HM Flash. It really tests you when playing I messed up. It really tests you when playing. The Victory Road of following region are shorter and less difficult. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green were my first games. I have not a clue which I got first. I only know I got both around the same time.
Fair enough.
And he has this cool picture of Shadow Mewtwo from
Gale of Darkness.
Pokemon Tournament.
Oh, that one. I thought it was from someone else. Okay. So we're going to number 7, yeah?
Yes.
Number 7 on the list. This is where Alola is.
Yep. Okay. I thought it was directly after.
This is where Alola is for me. Not that far off. And you kind of...
I hope we don't sound like we're just ranting so much.
Not. Like...
So tell me the positives. Why do you put that above X and Y? Tell me that.
Probably because, like, there wasn't much... Really? Probably because of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Because, like, we mentioned this earlier, like, we both got Sun and Moon. I got Moon, he got Sun. And we started playing through those games like we have for all the other games, make teams and whatnot. And I was playing through it, and I made it to the Fire Trial one.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even get there. I was headed to it, but I just got bored of the game. And I stopped playing it. And like he said, I've never done that for Pokemon, ever.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
I've never done that. So... We got Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I can't remember the reason. Probably just because of the legendaries.
I've been biking with full party this whole time. I wonder how long I've been doing that. Oh, so many eggs. I've been doing it for so long. I get so distracted doing this.
Oh, you silly goobo doobo. So I can't remember why we got Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Probably because of the legendaries, I'd say. Just because all the legendaries in the Ultra Worm whole space thing, whatever you can do. I can't remember.
I remember before we started, like, well, no, I think it was after Sun and Moon came out. What is the reason we did that? We were just doing every single main title game. And we considered it a main title after we already beat, the others.
Yeah. I can't remember. But we got Ultra Moon. I got Ultra Moon. He got Ultra Sun. And I played through that. And like we kind of said, like hand holding and all that stuff, it was easier than X and Y.
Yeah.
And you kind of picked up points on it where, like, with the whole gyms, trials things, I didn't like that. The Z moves, didn't like that. But I have enjoyed, like, shiny hunting legends in that game. And I do, at some point, want to go to, like, the SOS method. Like, where they call in the Pokemon. Because I've never done that. I just want to try my hand at that. I would say it's above Kalos because I've just spent more time in it. Because I've only played X and Y once.
Okay.
Well, technically, same thing for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I've only played those games once, story mode. And then the cutscenes. Disgusting. I don't know. I guess Kalos and Alola can be interchangeable for me. Like, you could put one in the other and I wouldn't really care as much.
Yeah.
But it's really just the fact that Kalos had so much lore built up to it and did nothing with it. And Alola, the only lore they kind of had was for the Ultra Beasts. And I feel like they kind of went more into it in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Like, they changed the story up a bit to where, like, you fight Ultra Necrozma, which, dear God, I've seen people get wrecked by that thing.
Yeah.
Not me. I beat it on my first try. Because remember, we were texting. I was texting.
That thing does have insane stats.
Wild, and it's already got the
yeah,
totem boost.
I wasn't there for that long either.
Huh?
I wasn't there for that long either.
Yeah. So like, I was texting, our friend Chris, and he says like, he's like, "Where you at in the game?" I'm like, "I'm like going through Victory Road. I'm like going through this like one weird looking area." He goes, "I hope you're ready." I'm like, "For what?" He goes, "Oh, you'll see." And I get up to Ultra Necrozma, and it's freaking bright yellow. I'm like, "You talking about this big yellow thing?" He goes, "Oh yes, prepare yourself." 5 minutes later, I'm like, "I beat it." He's like, "What?"
I think we have more balanced teams than Chris probably plays through.
Yeah.
We take Pokemon to the next level.
Yeah.
To a competitive level.
Yeah, and with the Pokemon of Alola, I didn't really have that many favorites from it. Like, I can't, like, right now, I can't really think of one that I'm just like, ooh, this one.
How about Delmice?
Yes. Delmice is dope. I mean, I used it on my team in Sword and Shield.
Wait, are you saying X and Y designs or Alola designs?
Alola.
Okay.
Alola. Like, I can't think of one that I'm just, like, jumping off the walls for. I'm just like, oh my god, I love this Pokemon. Like, Delmice
For me,
is cool.
it's Toxapex.
Delmice, I forgot that was a name.
I love Toxapex. That's one of my top 6.
Like, I like Delmice. I like Mimikyu.
Mimikyu's great, yeah. You shiny hunted that one pretty early in this game.
I did. I did like Mimikyu. I did like Delmice. That's really all I can think of. Honestly, like...
I can't think of any other. I mean, I like Salazzle, but I don't know how big of a fan you are of Salazzle.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I never really used it. If I used it, I'd probably like it a lot more. But, I mean, I never got to use it, and I probably never will again. Which is fine. But, like, even then, like, I'm not bouncing off the walls for a Salazzle. Let me check my shiny Pokemon, actually. See if I've shiny hunted any, here's the Mimikyu. Here's the... I got
Turtonator, Drampa.
Oh, goodness, look at me go.
Wow.
Then again, like, yeah, I shiny hunted them, but I still, I'm like... I'm not pooing my pants for Grandpa over here. Like,
Pooing my pants
not...
for Grandpa.
Oh, Sandy Gas was in that game.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
I like Sandy. I like Palisand. Other than that, turds, all of them.
Okay. I don't have anything. I can't think of a design I dislike. I guess the only one I really didn't like at first was Beware. That's kind of grown on me. It doesn't bother me too much because it's supposed to look like a giant stuffed bear.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, my 7th slot, X and Y. Oh. So we got the two swapped. Same thing he said. I don't feel like I can add too much onto this conversation.
Now you tell me, why is it above Alola?
There is not one Pokemon design I dislike in that game.
I'll think of one. Don't worry.
I like all the Megas.
Mm-hmm.
Megas was great.
They gave more to just Kanto.
It was the first game where they introduced 3D, which I thought was pretty cool to look at. Some of the music is pretty good as well.
I like the gym battle music.
But like I said, there's more stuff that I dislike about Alolan, because like there was more hand holding, and there was more cutscenes.
Yeah.
The cutscenes really bothered me a bit, so obviously I'm gonna put that one above it. And it so for when you put that aspect in it, and then you also look at the positives, like a lot of good Pokemon designs in my opinion, I'm gonna put it above it. Well, that's really all I have to say about that. I think the starters are great. Greninja. I even like Finnegan. I like Chestnut is like my least favorite of the three, but I don't hate it.
I like Finnegan more than I like Delphox, actually.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Finnegan's cute. I like foxes.
I mean, I'm okay with the whole line. It doesn't bother me.
I'm okay with it too. I know a lot of people actually dislike Delphox.
Yeah, and I think that's just because it's anthropomorphic, and people are begging Game Freak to stop going anthropomorphic. But it doesn't bother me too much. The only anthropomorphic animals I really dislike are in this game, or your game.
Yeah, my game.
I don't like any of the starters. I'm surprised Gen 8 made it as high as it did. So I'm going to read more comments here.
Okay.
Silverhawk YT says Galar Homeland. I'm guessing that's where he's from.
He's from Galar?
I guess so.
You're from the Pokemon game?
You're from the Pokemon game.
I understand that, like, it's the English
it's
game.
Like his region, you know?
I can get behind that.
If I lived in Hawaii, I'd be like, oh, cool, they made a region about me, you know?
Yeah.
Cosmic Verse.
Oh, my guy.
He says, I am going for something a bit different. I am going with Pokemon Legends Arceus in the Sinnoh region. Oh. So I guess we can consider this more of Gen 4.
Sure.
Since it's in Sinnoh. It's kind of a weird level that we don't really have Legends Arceus in our list.
Yeah.
Just because we're doing like main generations. And he says the reason why is because it has brought a fresh new formula and take on how to experience a Pokemon game and enjoy the overworld shiny.
Oh yeah.
And the quests are fun as well, which I agree with. Legends Arceus is a great game. That's why we started
great.
playing it immediately on our channel.
It's very great. I mean, I love the open world aspect of it. I mean, that's something we've been wanting for so long, and probably like a lot of you guys have been wanting for so long.
Oh yeah.
Seeing all the Pokemon,
we finally have that.
Seeing all the Pokemon in the overworld, the shinies in the overworld, I just love that so much. It makes it feel more alive to me.
Oh yeah.
I love that so much.
So yeah, I completely agree with you there. Jasic says, I loved Kalos for a few reasons. Number 1, Mega Evolution is my favorite ability.
Come on.
Number 2, the Pokemon plotline was at its peak. Now, I know we already said some of our opinions on that.
What kind of peak you on?
Yeah.
What kind of peak you on right now?
I will say the legendaries were cool. Life and Death. Now, that's pretty hardcore.
I like the Beltall.
Yeah. I like both of them.
Xerneas.
Well, he said anime plotline.
Oh, the anime plotline.
Like, if
yes! And the X and Y anime, best Pokemon anime.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, because that's like the first time I actually went back to the anime and started watching it.
Yeah, I started watching it as well. Well, right now I'm like watching Pokemon Journeys, and I really love Pokemon Journeys. Actually,
I need to get back into the anime.
I
need to
actually
start
really
watching
like
that
Pokemon
again.
Journeys because Pokemon Journeys actually has a character who wants to catch all the Pokemon.
It only took them 25 years, but they're doing it.
They're on their
They
way.
are catching them all, as I once said.
They're doing the darn thing. That's what they're doing. Oh, I love it. I from what I saw from the Pokemon X and Y anime, I really enjoyed it.
He said, for number 3, the gym leaders were really well made. And he says, number 4, my boy Greninja was introduced. So I think this guy is going more for anime aspects more than the gameplay.
Okay.
So, in terms of gym leaders, like, in the anime, would you say they stood out? Or did you like them?
There was one gym leader, the fighting type gym leader, Karina. I loved her. She's my favorite gym leader from
she is cool.
Kalos. Not just because she has a Lucario. Calm down, everyone. No, I really liked her. I don't know. She was like prominent in the anime, I think.
Yeah.
And I think she came back in Pokemon Journeys as well. I'm pretty sure. I think.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I really loved her. Other than that, I can't really remember the other gym leaders.
What was his name? The blonde haired guy that they go with, that makes all the inventions. I forget his name already.
Oh! The power of science is amazing.
He was a gym leader, yeah.
Clement.
Yeah, that's
something
his
like
name.
that.
All right, you ready to go to our next one on our list?
Number 6.
Yes, number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah, it's number 6. Yep.
Number 6 for me. And all you older people, put the stones down. Okay, let me explain myself.
We're in the part of the video where like all these are like top tier games almost.
Yeah, we've entered into it.
Yeah.
So, all you 90s people, put the stones down. Okay, I was 98. Okay, we're fine.
I know what you're gonna say.
We're all about to be fine. Okay, we're gonna get through this. Okay, nothing. It's Kanto. Okay,
yeah, I was expecting it.
Listen.
I was waiting for it.
Listen. Okay.
Off with his head.
Listen, everyone, shut up.
Charizard did nothing wrong.
Get Charizard out. Okay. I've said that Kanto is a good base game. It's a great starting point. Okay? We get it. We get it. It started it all. Okay? We all know it. Stop. Please, Game Freak. We've seen it all. Okay? I know every route in Kanto. Okay? I've played through it a lot. Listen, the champion theme, one of the best. Okay? I'll give you that. It's got some iconic Pokemon. What did I say up here? Let's see. I said first thing I said, good baseline games. Okay? The region map, it's a bit too basic. It's a square. It's a loop-de square. That's what it is.
No, when you say basic, I think more of like Gen 5 because of like it was like a pure circle. First time I played Gen 5.
Whoa.
And I'm not talking about Black and White 2. I'm just talking about Black and White, normal circle.
First of all, it's not that much different in Black and White. You're just on the other side.
That doesn't help. Yeah.
What noises just came? What noises just came out of your mouth? That was weird.
Excitement.
He said, "Whoa!" I didn't see like this shiny. I saw the sparkles.
It was so bright.
Look, it matches.
That's the first shiny I've ever seen in this game.
You got this before you got Sunkern.
Yeah, and I was at like 800 for Sun. No, I passed 1200 for Sunkern.
Good God Almighty, my guy, my boy, my lad. Look at you.
Oh wow! Right in the rant of you talking about everyone's favorite region.
Yeah, another thing, Weedle. That's another one.
Oh my God,
Brother.
That's very noticeable.
Brother. Dude.
And I love Beedrill shiny. Oh, it's good. It's
shiny.
so good.
It does have a good shiny.
I love it shiny.
Well, shoot dang. What you got next, Pidgey?
I think Rattata comes next.
Nope, it's Pidgey. Where's Pidgey?
Are you sure it's Pidgey?
Where's Pidgey here?
I think it's...
Because I think Pidgey is next. I think Pidgey is next. While you do that, I'm going to continue bashing Kanto. So, listen. Okay, so back to Kanto. The starters, okay? Dope starters, okay? Some of the most iconic Pokemon in the whole franchise. Alright. We got Bulbasaur. Little plant boy. We love him.
Shoot, it is Pidgey.
Yeah, that's right. Where's your Pidgey?
Where is my Pidgey? He should be before Eradicate. Why did I do that?
Because Pidgey's not in this game.
I didn't think I was gonna get Weedle this fast.
Well, why do you have the other next three?
I don't know. I really don't know. Where do you get Pidgey? Shoot. You just keep talking real quick.
Okay. So we got Bulbasaur, little plant boy. My favorite starter from that game, actually. I love him. He's my baby. We got Squirtle. I kind of recently just had a hatred for Squirtle. I won't say why. I won't say why.
I think it's on that side. Yeah, it's on that side.
I won't say why. I have a recent hatred for Squirtle.
With Squirtle, I prefer Bulbasaur and Charmander over Squirtle. So Squirtle does that was the hardest one for both of us to get actually.
Both of us to get?
I don't hate Squirtle at all though. I love Squirtle.
I
think it's a great design.
Yeah, I don't hate Squirtle. I mean I've used it a lot when I played like Fire Red Leaf Green.
There's not one Gen 1 Pokemon I dislike. I even like Muck.
Muck is okay. I like Muck. Minimize. I love it. And then the other one. Charmander.
Now, Raisin hates Charmander, not specifically because it's Charmander, but because of how much of a favorite it becomes to the people.
I hate it because all of you love it. Charizard, listen, it's a cool Pokemon. We know. We all realize it looks cool. Okay?
Starter-wise, I mean, having a full-on fire dragon is pretty dope.
It's not even a dragon type. It's just flying type.
I don't think that takes away from it at all.
It does.
Not for me. Okay.
What happened here?
Charizard.
What's happened here? What is this?
That is weird.
Why do I just have a singular egg not... Why? What's happening?
I'm gonna go ahead and change this over here.
You go ahead.
Well, you do.
I'll keep bashing.
While you keep bashing.
So listen, Charizard, it's dope. Game Freak. We get it, okay? We don't need more. Alright? My man's been in every single game ever in existence. Alright? He's in Super Smash Bros. Okay, stop. We're fine. We don't need more. But I think with Kanto doesn't have a story in it.
Yeah, not much of a story.
It's not much of a story mode. The evil team, Team Rocket, classic, iconic. Okay. I get that too. I don't really get what they were trying to do.
They were just kind of like normal thugs, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were normal thugs. They were trying to steal, other people's Pokemon. Next thing I know, they're raiding an ultra super business. Okay? And that was it. And the evil team leader being the last gym leader. Cool little twist. I'll support it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, honestly.
I'll support it. And then they come back in Johto, but we'll get to Johto. But I played Fire Red Leaf Green a lot. I never played Red Blue or Yellow. I did play Fire Red Leaf Green, and I played Let's Go. Then I went to I played through Johto and then went to Kanto. So I played through Kanto a lot. Don't get me wrong. I played it a lot. But I think it's just too... I think it's...
Get off the stage!
I think it's over-glorified.
Kanto's amazing!
I think it's over-glorified. I think.
You need to shut up!
Listen, the Pokemon in it, they're great. There's a lot of great ones. Gengar, Alakazam, Arcanine, Ninetales.
What Pokemon do you dislike in Gen 1? Let's see who you can piss off the most.
Before I found out Dugong's cry, I didn't really like Dugong, but now I kind of just like it.
I
just
love Dugong.
Just because of its cry. Dugong.
I think Dugong is so underrated. Everyone gives Dugong such a hard time, and I love it.
It's fine.
Like,
I'm indifferent about it, I guess.
I think it's beautiful. I think it has a great design.
I don't really care for Farfetch'd.
I've never disliked Farfetch. Like, I understand nostalgia. Like, as a kid, you're not going to really hate any Pokemon.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to hate Zubat just because of all the Zubats in caves.
I don't really hate Zubat.
But, like, it's not a bad design.
I don't really hate Zubat. It's a bat. What do you want? It's a bat. I could do away with Pharaoh, actually. It's just a...
Yeah,
It's like beta Pidgey.
See, I played with a Pharaoh in one of my playthroughs.
From Egypt?
No, just a regular one. From normal Kanto.
Well, hold on. I'm all screwed up. What's happened? I don't know what happened to me right now. Hold on. Let me get back to this.
I wasn't expecting to get a shiny that fast. I got it within a box and a half. I wonder what came first, Charmander or
the egg.
Let's see. This is my fastest shiny now, because Charmander got it in 49. This is literally like 30.
Shoot dang, did
That is crazy. That's amazing.
Shoot dang.
So happy that happened.
I did like the challenge aspect of Kanto though. Like, I struggled a lot.
It was hard.
I struggled a lot with the rival battle in Silphco. Because that was the first time he had a fully evolved starter, and the level jumps. I'm like, oh boy, alright, this is okay.
Yeah.
And then of course the champion fight. I love it. I love the music in it. My favorite music in those games. Then the legends. Again, iconic. You got Mewtwo, Mew, the birds. They're iconic, and that's really it for me. There wasn't really anything tied to them.
The biggest support for your likes of the region is nostalgia.
Yeah.
The same reason everybody says that's why it's their favorite.
Yeah.
Become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Yeah.
I'm not hurt that you put Gen 1 that far down on a list of 8 generations.
I don't care.
Well, I know it's gonna hurt other people's opinions, but I am not far behind you on the next people I'm about to offend, because my next slot is Gen 2. Now tell me, did I offend you more than you offended me?
Oh my god!
I know.
I mean...
So, the reasons I have for Gen 2, which I looked more into it, and you beat the game pretty fast. I beat the game at level 40 Mons.
Well, that's not really saying anything since the champion's highest level is 50.
Yeah, but like, I feel like that's really early level to be beating a game, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, I get to that point. I get my Pokemon at such low level in Kanto for a challenge, because I'm not supposed to be that low.
Well, to be fair, in Johto's defense, you have to go through Kanto again.
But you said that's a negative.
No, not a negative in Gen 2.
See, for me, like, I'm
trying to think of it like back in like the Gold, Silver, Crystal days. Like,
I will say that's cool. That is so cool that they revisit it.
Like you play through red and blue and yellow. They're like, oh, this game was dope. Oh God, the other games are out. Gold, Silver, Crystal. Go get those. You beat the game. Like Professor Oak. Oh my God, it's Professor Oak. He's from the other games. He's like, you can go to my land. He goes, ah!
That's cool, and I really
that's dope.
I really like that. That puts it high on my list.
We should go to Kanto in every game.
But like for me, it's more of saying, oh, in Gen 2, you can go revisit Gen 1. And so it gives all that glory back to Gen 1, in my opinion, my head. So, personally, let's talk about the Pokemon. Pokemon designs, solid. Don't dislike any. Some of that might be nostalgic reasons. I understand that. But yeah, I'm still hatching these Weedles while I wait for Pidgey eggs to be made. There's not that much Pokemon introduced in Gen 2.
Bruh. Shuckle. Dunsparce.
Well, here's the thing. They introduced a lot of weak Pokemon.
Stantler.
And then they also introduced a lot of baby Pokemon. Cleffa.
And evolutions.
Igglybuff. Pichu.
You got evolutions as well. You got Sizzle, Steelix.
True. But...
Brother. Woopa.
But, like... Yeah, that... Well, I'm not saying there is evolution.
Yeah!
There is, like...
Whoop whoop!
I'm talking about in terms of new Pokemon on its own that doesn't, like, go off of another one.
Yeah, I understand.
So it feels like there's not that much new Pokemon.
It's like they're just, like, kind of adding on.
It felt more like an update to Gen 1. It's like, hey, now you can evolve Skyther.
It's Gen 1 Plus.
Ain't that cool? Yes, Gen 1 Plus. But I don't dislike the designs. The designs are great. Music's fine. I just felt like the game was really short. Because they rely... the other half of the game, they rely on Gen 1.
You do fight
and
Red.
that's my favorite parts of Gen 2, is going back to Gen 1.
Okay, you do fight Red.
And Red's awesome.
That was dope. You fought the main protagonist of the first game. That's amazing, actually.
That's probably one of the biggest things Gen 2 has going for it.
It's kind of freaking dope.
I will agree with that. Yeah.
We did enjoy it. It's also just like story, like you see like character progression as well. Like Koga was a gym leader in Gen 1, but he's now an Elite 4 member in Gen 2.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Lance was an Elite 4. He went up to Champion. That kind of crap is dope.
Yeah,
I love it.
I understand fully.
Character progression.
I don't really hate. I don't like to hate on Pokemon games. So really, this isn't so much as I dislike Gen 2, and that's why it's so at the bottom of my list. But just because I have to start somewhere on the list before I start going up. And also, here's another thing that might also be part of it. When I played Gen 2 for the very first time, it was on a regular silver game, and my save data kept corrupting because it was just old. So every time I saved, it didn't matter because I would always have to start the game over, which sucked. So I didn't really get a decent playthrough
Had to do it in
until
one
I
sitting.
borrowed your Soul Silver. That was the only way I could play the game in its entirety, because when Soul Silver and Heart Gold came out, I was taking a break from Pokemon. I thought I was done with Pokemon.
Surprise!
So I didn't get the games. So that's another reason why Gen 2 is so low on my list.
And when we get to Johto on my list, I'm going to talk about Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because those games hard carry Johto for me. I'll be honest.
Really?
They hard carry it. But yeah, did you want to move on, or do you want to...
Yeah, let's read some more comments, and then we'll move on to our next slot.
Swag.
This guy says Pokemon Crystal, which I thought was pretty cool.
Ooh.
I was 12 when I got it. It's so nostalgic for me. It's the first game to introduce the female character option. They took a look at Gen 1 and said, how can we improve? And succeeded, in my opinion.
That's kind of like what we were saying, like Gen 1 Plus.
It's like an upgrade, yeah. On top of all that, it has a lot of my favorite Pokemon designs. And that's another thing I mentioned. Great designs. I like the designs. Designs, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Come on, go away. I hate when it glitches like that.
Silly goober.
Let me see your name. Aura of Vec. Very interesting name. Might be saying it wrong. Region Sinnoh. I love the contrasting sides of Mount Coronet, and the landscape art is beautiful. Game Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I just love everything about it. So they're putting Gen 2 along into Gen 4, which we said we would not,
Reasonable.
but we understand.
Reasonable.
Yeah, we understand why.
Gen 4 game.
It is a Gen 4 game.
Gen 2 story.
I just love everything about it. Pokemon walking, yes, big feature. The Pokelathon, I don't really remember.
Oh, I
much
forgot
of
about that.
I forgot about that too. The replayability and the aesthetics. It's the definite Pokemon experience to me. I do admit that Black 2 and White 2 is better, but I just can't help playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I love it so much more.
Come on.
Wow, so their opinions are kind of like all over the place almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So Gen 4, Gen 2, and Gen 5 are like they're big 3 favorites right there. We'll read one more comment. The Uwu anime blog says Kalos really has a satisfying map. It's definitely my favorite region for sure, but my favorite game has to be Legends Arceus again. Pokemon hiding in the grass has always given me mild but constant anxiety that wears me out while playing. LA is the first Pokemon game where I don't feel this. Legends Arceus. I almost said Los Angeles.
Hold on, I was like, LA?
I corrected myself before I said it. I almost said Los Angeles.
I see it
my
more as
first
PLA.
Pokemon game.
That's how I see it, as PLA, but whatever.
Yeah.
Carry on with you, sir.
Alright, so next one on our list.
Number 5.
For me, this is number
5.
Number 5. Yeah,
Mid.
number 5. I
Big
put
mid.
Gen 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like mid-tier.
Yep.
I like its Pokemon designs, except for the starters. Worst starters.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh.
I know there's some Score Bunny fans out there somewhere, but I did not like the starter designs. They're specifically their final evolutions. The pre-evolutions perfectly fine. In terms of story, they learned from Sun and Moon that people don't like cutscenes, so they mild it back. I noticed that again while playing Wonderlock, which I don't know if it's gonna be out or now out at the time of this video or not. But me and him are doing a Wonderlock in Sword and Shield.
Swag.
And yeah, there's not that much cutscenes in comparison. It was really cool playing the Pokemon on the Switch for the first time. As a kid, I always wanted to play a Pokemon game. Yeah, it freaked me out a little bit too. Saw the Pidgey for the first time. I always said as a kid, I wish I could play a Pokemon game on the TV with a PlayStation controller. And
close.
I can do it.
Pretty close.
I have used the actual PlayStation controller. This is as close to a PlayStation controller as you can get for off-brand controllers. But I have played it with a real PlayStation controller as well. So I finally got my wish. So that was something that was like, really big for me. First HD Pokemon game, because you can't call Sun and Moon HD because it was on a 3DS.
Yeah.
So first real HD game, big hype. That is so cool. So it's such a leap in advancement. Reasons it's not higher is, the story. It's a nice story. It's like a lighthearted story. Like, it's not like a major thing happening. It's like a decent level of stuff going on. I like how it focuses more on collecting the gym badges.
Yeah.
Do your normal stuff, which I like. I kind of like straight to the point. I know what I have to do. Send me on my way.
But the trees.
Trees.
But the trees.
I feel like Game Freak was rushed, so I don't. I know I give Game Freak a lot of crap, and so does everybody else. But sometimes I feel like sometimes it's not Game Freak's fault, because I feel like they have to rush and get it out at the same time as the anime, which is one thing that a lot of people don't consider.
Yeah.
Because they all have to come out at a very specific time, and that automatically forces you to rush game production.
Yep.
So I don't think they were fully done with Sword and Shield, but I also say at the same time, when it did come out, I feel like they could have updated the game. I don't feel like it's hard to add updates. And like I said, back to the tree, when Sword and Shield came out, some people who don't even work at Game Freak they hacked the game and fixed the tree within 1 hour and made the tree look good.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing where it's like, we obviously are complaining about a very specific thing that we don't like, and we know that we could fix it if you give us the opportunity, but they just won't do it. So, and another reason why Gen 8 isn't higher is because of the Dex cut. That was one of the biggest controversies in Pokemon history, was the Dex cut. And I like the idea of them adding it back with DLC. I don't have a problem buying DLC. I would prefer all the Pokemon just be there, but it's whatever. we still got like a new story, a new Pokemon out of it. So it's like I was gonna buy it anyways, even if we already had all the Pokemon. But they didn't add all of them. They were so close. They were missing like 200.
Yeah.
And it's like at that point, why don't you just put them in for the heck of it? Like I don't know. So that's all I have to say about Gen 8. What about you?
Mine is also Gen 8 for number 5.
Okay.
Like you said, it's a mid game. Though probably it's getting up there in playtime for me because of
Shiny Racing, yeah.
this, and like we've already spent like so much time shiny hunting in this game before we started recording all this. So like story mid.
Yeah.
The post game not that great. Not that great. You had dudes with a sword and a shield on their hair.
Oh yeah, that was whack.
I saw them for the first time. I busted out laughing. I didn't know why they were here.
But I feel like that's an appropriate response to them. I don't think they were supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like funny.
They had me run around the entire region. I'm like, stop, just go away, please. I waited so long to do the post game after I saw them for the first time. I'm like, I don't want to see these dweebs. But DLC, pretty dope. I loved it. Like, cause just we've never really had DLC in a Pokemon game.
That was a new thing. Like, there were so many things that were just brand new with this Pokemon generation.
And it was like a whole new area, really like an open world.
We never had that either.
Both of them just open world areas, which I really loved in that. And again, the Dex cut. Just put them in. Game Freak. Put them in. Just put them in.
Like it's such a weird game because it's not bad in terms of, you know, normal Pokemon gameness, but you do have cons and you do have pros.
Yeah.
Pros, this is the first HD game that you can play on a TV. You don't have to actually hold the console in your hand. They explored open world for the first time. Designs aren't bad in some cases. Yeah. And then you have the cons like Dex cut.
The trees.
The like there's pros and cons. You don't have all the Pokemon, you have to pay for them. That's a bad thing in some people's minds.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pros and cons. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's not horrible. Yeah. It's mid-tier.
It's mid.
So I'm glad me and you agree on that. That was like the main first agreement.
Just a mid game. So. We're over an hour, by the way.
That's fine. Like I said, we can just keep this video going as long as we want.
Hour
we are
12.
trying to get you that Squirtle, boy.
Hour 12.
we're going to get there. I'm going to...
Actually, after this video, if I don't get it at the end of this video, I'll be at triple odds.
Yep, you will be.
How does that make you feel, viewers? Watching me suffering.
I got so many shinies.
How do you guys like looking at a Squirtle 1,500 times? You enjoyed that?
We keep this series going on for like so long. Like, I mean, eventually the same is going to happen to me, and you're going to catch up.
No, I'll still be on Squirtle.
You'll still be on Squirtle. Okay.
You're gonna reach
a lot of hope there.
You're gonna reach your pandemic. I'm gonna still be in the midst of mine.
I'm gonna read. What comment am I on?
1,500 Squirtles. This is disgusting.
Indie Folk Rock says Unova was my first game and has constantly stayed my favorite. The classic pixel art, entirely new Pokedex with great designs, a beautiful New York ambience, changing seasons, and literally the best soundtrack of the series.
Chill out.
And the sequel is so good. I wish they gave other games the same TLC that Unova got.
Tender loving care.
Is that what it is? I thought it was drugs.
No! It's a TLC, tender loving care.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking
What's
of.
in weed? TLC? I think it is TLC.
I mean...
But yeah, Gen 5 was great.
You could argue they put tender loving care into weed. I guess. I don't know.
That's why Gen 5 is not in my bottom bracket. I mean, we're past the mid-tier now.
Oh yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah, so like, yeah. I love Gen 5 too, and obviously so do you.
I've never heard you say that. There. I've never heard you say you love Gen 5.
We'll get there.
Ooh.
We'll get there. Gracie NVH says Pokemon Heart Gold / Soul Silver. I love the Pixar and how the Pokemon can follow you.
Oh!
Wish I could get all the evolutions in it, though. So they're talking about, like, Sylveon.
You're just missing one.
Yeah, it's just one.
It's okay.
It's just one. And, like, it's understandable because it wasn't out yet. So, in terms of that, nothing bad to say about the region whatsoever.
Well, you had a few bad things to say about Johto.
I mean, it's
whatever, dude.
It's not. It wasn't that bad. It was just things that were lacking, in my opinion. Gecko Squid says Kalos is my favorite. It introduces a bunch of new favorite Pokemon, favorite type, and Mega Evolution is my beloved. So this is a Fairy lover, which Fairy was a type that was definitely needed.
It balanced the game heavily.
Yeah, Dragon needed a nerf, and it got its proper nerf,
It
especially
did.
with every Dragon type almost being legendaries and pseudo legendaries.
Legend and pseudos, yeah.
Like, yeah, it needed to calm down.
Take a chill.
All right, so what's your next one on your slot? What number
Number 4?
are we on?
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
We're like almost at the top 3, but still kind of mid. Johto for me.
Okay.
Gen 2 Johto.
I can understand that.
And I mentioned it before. It's really because of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because I never played Gold, Silver, Crystal. Never played those. I never had a Game Boy Color. But I played the crap out of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I
remember you playing this when we first met, actually. It was 5th grade. And that was the game that you played the most. And you even had the Pokewalker.
The Pokewalker thing, yes. I brought that to school and I would walk
remember
with it a
that.
lot. Oh my gosh, I love Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It's oh my gosh, it's so great. Like the comment said, Pokemon following you, amazing feature.
Yeah, that was so below.
And one of my favorites was if the Pokemon was shiny, it'd be shiny following you.
That's
like it would show the shiny sprite.
Which we didn't really have that many shinies back then, but you know.
The sprites back then were dope. I love just the 2D sprites. Let's
That's
see.
kind of cool. I didn't know they have the shiny sprites follow you.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I
can
love
show
that.
you, like, next time I'm over here, I'll bring my Heart Gold, because I got the Bayleaf in there. I got the shiny Chikorita starter. Which is the one I didn't want. But yeah, it's shiny when it follows you. Yeah, I love it so much.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see, because this was Gym 4. Gym leaders, I love the gym leaders. Like I said, like, character progression. As we saw, like, Koga going to the Elite Four, and like I think it was his daughter being the gym leader then. Seeing how much, like, Kanto changed in the past, like, 2 years since Red and Blue days. Team Rocket returning. I don't really care for that. They didn't really do much. They, like, went into Slowpoke well and cut off some tails.
Oh.
Cool, I guess. What else?
Do Slowpoke tails grow back?
I have no idea.
Those poor Slowpoke.
No, if you look at the sprites in Slowpoke, well, their tails all cut off.
Dang.
It's kind of weird.
That's kind of dark.
It did add a challenge. Johto. The one problem I did have with Johto, like, kind of like you said, it's too short.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, the level scaling was stupid.
Yeah, it does feel weird. That's one
Like,
thing I've noticed.
The Ice type gym, which is I think is the 7th gym.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like there, like in that city, Mahogany Town, you like go into the rocket base and stuff. In there, you're fighting like level 20s. At the 7th gym, you're fighting level 20s. Like that's my main problem was the level scaling. Other than that, I don't think I have any other problem with Johto. I love Typhlosion. I love for Alligator. For some reason, I love Shuckle.
I like Shuckle too. I wish I could use it more often, but its stats don't let me do that.
I love Shuckle,
but that's also kind of its gimmick.
I don't know why I love Shuckle.
Crazy defense.
Like Ampharos, Heracross, Lantern, Whoopa!
Whooper and Lantern, yeah, those are two big favorites.
Espeon, my favorite evolution.
Good one.
Umbreon.
I'm loving Umbreon in our Arceus playthrough. That thing has helped me so much.
And like they added, like you said, like you felt like it was just like an upgrade to Gen 1, which I kind of agree, but I did also love they're adding evolutions to like old Pokemon.
That's an upgrade.
But Yeah,
That's what I consider an upgrade.
They did that, but they also did that in Gen 4 as well.
Yeah, but I feel like Gen 4 had more Pokemon, basic level, don't come from anything. It's like, here is a completely new region. You know, you got Bidoof, of course.
Yeah!
You got Starly, you got Shinx. It felt like a really new region. And then at the very end, it's like, oh, and by the way, we just added 15 evolutions to previously already favorited Pokemon.
It's actually a fact. It felt like 15.
Yeah. It was
lot.
so much. It's like, oh, yeah, you get a new region, but also all these are added on at the very end of the game as well. Which,
yeah.
I love,
so, like,
I love
if I had to change one thing about Johto, it would be just the length of the game. Like, make it longer. And, like, I understand, you know, you get to go through Kanto again, which is dope and all. Like, probably back in, like, the Gold, Silver, Crystal days, like, you get to go through it again. You know, Hall Gold and Soul Silver is kind of like a revamped Kanto. It's just upgraded.
Yeah.
And then you fight Red, which is amazing. I love that. Pokeathlon, don't really care for. Get that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. It was like 100. It was 100 new Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
In Johto, yeah, it was 100 new Pokemon. I really love the Pokemon there. Trying to think of one I don't really like from Johto.
It's hard for me to dislike any Pokemon from nostalgic, you know, places. So I can't really give you one. I'll just go as far as to say I don't like any. I don't dislike any from Johto.
Yeah. Like, there was some, like, I don't really mind.
They're just kind of there.
Quillfish.
Yeah, I don't hate Quillfish.
Don't hate it, don't love it.
I
so,
like. You know. I like variety. I love we have a pufferfish.
Yeah.
It's not something I need.
It's like something different.
It's not something I hate. It's good. It's fine.
So yeah, I love it. Love Johto.
So for me,
and the music. Music is.
The music was great. It's hard to complain about music.
I also love in Hall Gold Soul Silver how they give you like an item to like let you hear the old music back in Gen 2.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
That's really cool.
And then they had like different events in Hall Gold Soul Silver. Like I said, Hall Gold Soul Silver was just carrying this Gen 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was an event in Hall Gold Soul Silver, the Arceus event, where like if you have an event Arceus and you bring it, Cynthia will be there, and she'll take you to like this new place called the Temple of something, I can't remember. But there you can like get a level 1 Dialga Pokeo Giratina.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it was such a weird cutscene for it too. It showed images of like real life.
Weird.
Yeah. When I first saw the event on like YouTube or something, I thought it was like fake. I thought someone like edited it. No, that is in the game actually.
That's very peculiar. I need to see that.
I'll show it to
after
you
this video.
I'll show it to you later. Yeah,
Because that's I've never.
It was
heard
very
of that.
mind bending. It was so weird to see, but it was dope.
That is very interesting. For my slot, Gen 5. Gen 5 is my number 4. What? That's not a bad slot to be in. That's not a bad slot to be in at all.
You keep talking.
So, I mean, this would have been lower on my list if younger me was here today, shiny hunting instead of me hunting now. Because my first experience playing Gen 5, I didn't like it. I disliked it. I didn't like any of the Pokemon designs, which is why I only like went through the game with a superior my first playthrough. But like as the older I got, the more I started to open up to the new designs, understand where they were coming from, and I actually started thinking there's a lot more good things to say about the gen than there is bad. Which I know a lot of people, around that time period, a lot of people said they also hated Gen 5. They said they just said all the Gen 5 designs are bad. Like there's so many that are horrible. But also, you have to kind of look at it in statistics. We do not usually get 150 Pokemon. That's how much it was, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they try to make it entirely that region based. So there was no nostalgia to back it up. That's the first thing that I think a lot of people just didn't like. They didn't want new Pokemon. They wanted to play with their favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I understand that. So that's one of the things for the backlash. Another thing was, since this region specifically had so much more Pokemon, there's obviously going to be more that people dislike. So if you, let's say you hate, I think Kalos only has like 70 Pokemon. So let's say you hate 1/10 of the Pokemon in Kalos, which is just 7 Pokemon. Oh, that's 10%. That's not that much.
That's 10% of the decks.
Yes. Well, not 10% of the decks, just 10% of
It's 1/10.
the Kalos decks.
1/10. It's 1/10.
1/10 of the Kalos decks, yes. Not the whole decks.
1/10 is 10%.
Yes.
So they hate 10% of the decks.
10% of the Kalos decks.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, if you apply that same logic, if you hate 1/10 of Gen 5's decks,
That's a lot more.
you hate 15 Pokemon. Which seems like it seems like you hate more Pokemon in that generation, but also there's just more Pokemon in that generation as well.
Yeah.
And Game Freak, they like to be so diverse in their designs. So, I mean, there's a lot of risk that comes with that as well. Because there's more Pokemon, there's obviously going to be more Pokemon that people hate, and that usually stands out more than the Pokemon that people like.
Yeah.
Haxorus and Hydreigon obviously
Woo!
are awesome.
Come on.
Chandelure has become a favorite.
Come on.
Chandelure wasn't that... I didn't like Chandelure that much when I first saw it. It grew on me. Pokemon Tournament, it made me love it even more. Because it has so much personality. It's just such a fun, loving Pokemon. It's not just an item Pokemon. It's so much more than that. Great stats as well. So, like I said, the first time playing Gen 5, didn't like it. My second time playing it, loved it. And I loved it because there was new Pokemon that I was opening up, willing to try, like Sawsbuck. I played the game with a Sawsbuck, and I loved it. I loved playing with a Sawsbuck.
Yeah.
I had Mineshaw on my team. Mineshaw was dope. Gigalith. That thing was awesome. And, like, at that time, me and him were going through the gen together. And so I could trade him and actually get a real Gigalith.
What's wild is none of us chose Chandelure.
That is wild. It wasn't our favorite yet.
Insane.
So even after playing the game, we started liking more and more Pokemon after that. So Gen 5, I have a very interesting history with Gen 5. At first, I did not like it. I thought it almost ruined Pokemon for me because I stopped playing Pokemon after Gen 5. And then, surely enough, I started liking it. The older I got, story is great. I guess I just didn't care much for the story my first time playing. I just kind of wanted to fight things. Music's good. Yeah, like Gen 5 was great. It's kind of weird looking back and seeing I had those opinions, but also fully understanding why people had those opinions and why some might still have those opinions. So yeah, that's my fourth slide.
I hate you.
The Luck of the Claws says Alola. I'm very biased because it was my first region, but I loved it.
Fair enough.
Understandable.
Fair enough. First region, first game. Fair enough.
And our first region game is obviously higher on our list as well, because we haven't even got to those yet.
Well, we got to, though.
Cleo-N says, it's got to be Unova. Both games are great, but Black and White has a special place in my heart. I loved all the characters. ESB, Charon, Bianca, and N. And the music and the Pokemon get a lot of flack, but they're not that bad. Come on.
Come on!
He says, yes, even the monkeys. And the ice cream.
Okay, well.
So pretty much every issue from Black and White got fixed in Black and White 2. Very true. Okay. And I just made myself want to go replay the games.
Do it.
SJD, SJ, hashtag Pokemon, hashtag random.
Are you okay?
A little bit of a stroke there. I think that's something you type. Yeah, it's something you type when you're like very excited. Alton Energy. It says Gen 3. Yes. I love Gen 3.
Yes.
The jump from Game Boy Color graphics / gameplay to Game Boy Advance was just so magical to me as a kid. Yes, and
Understandable.
I understand that. Even though I started on the Advance, like I said, going from, handheld consoles to a HD console, that was a big deal for me as well. So I completely understand that. All right, let's go to our slot 3. What do you have for slot?
My slot 3 is Unova.
Okay.
My slot 3 is Unova.
Yeah, I was wondering when this one was going to come up.
Oh, yeah. And I told you, I had a very, very hard time with Unova and another region for my number 2 and number 3 slot. But I did put Unova at number 3. And I gotta say, it really is just because of nostalgia that the other two are as high as they did. Because if I had to pick a best region, technically, I would say Gen 5. Like, out of all the... I think Gen 5 is the best region. It's like the peak of regions. But for me, just because of nostalgia for the other two regions...
Yeah.
That's why they beat Unova for me. Though Unova... So, Unova. Let's talk about Unova. Quite possibly the best story in all of Pokemon games. The best.
I gotta agree with that.
Holy Lord. Very story heavy. The music in the game slaps. Driftvale City. I walked
just
into
like that.
It does. I did the music for Driftvale.
You just hummed it
Yeah,
into a mic.
Yeah. A lot of boom mics. I walked into that town and I set my game down. I'm just like, come on now. I loved it so much. There's just so many bangers in that game. Like the end credit music. I've never wanted to beat a game more badly than Black and White. Not because I hated it and wanted to be done, but just because I wanted to hear that music. I loved it
That's
so
one of the things that people
much.
keep saying is they love Gen 5's music.
Oh my gosh.
That was a big one for them.
A lot of my favorite Pokemon are from Gen 5. Like, my complete balanced team. 3 of those are Gen 5.
Hydreigon,
Chandelure, and Electros. All of them, like, just Gen 5. And there's still so many dope ones. And, I love Superior. That's my favorite starter from that gen. I don't really like Samurai. I hate to say it.
I love Samurai. It wasn't my first favorite, and it wasn't my first option. I chose Superior for my first one, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I think Samurai has a cool design though, and I love it.
Yeah.
I picked it for Arceus. Legends Arceus, for those who don't know.
There you go. Samurai and Emboar are kind of like just there for me. Like I mean, I'm always the type to choose like the fire starter first. So I chose Tepig as my first playthrough, and I liked using it. But over time, like after using the other ones,
for third firefighting.
Yeah. So it kind of just grew out of me. I'm like kind of sick of it. I just started using Superior. I strictly just use Superior now because I just love it so much. And again, the story in Black and White 1, it was so amazing. I loved it so much. I love the region. I love the map of it, the layout of it. Again, seasons. That's something new we had, and it.
I wish they kept it. I didn't think that would be a gimmick that they just
it was weird.
got rid of, because I liked it. I'm like, oh, good. We're like fully updating the next games, like with seasons and all this stuff.
And I like how they had a Pokemon that kind of related to the seasons. And I also like how you could find Pokemon depending on what season it was in certain areas. And you could access new areas. Like if it was winter, snow would pile up.
That
is
is
so
so
cool. You could
cool.
climb the snow.
I wish they still had that in these games.
I loved it.
Like that would be
much.
so
there
cool.
was so
like,
much to explore.
It makes it fresh too, seeing it.
And there's like not a lot of Pokemon I despise in Gen 5. Like Stunfisk. I'm okay with Stunfisk.
So many people hate Stunfisk.
Not really Galarian Stun. Like I think it was because of Galarian Stunfisk. I don't like Galarian Stunfisk. But because I don't like Galarian Stunfisk, I'm like, I enjoy this one much more. I enjoy the Unovan Stunfisk so much more.
I like both. I think the Galarian was a pretty interesting concept. A bear trap.
Yeah. But with Gen 5, it just had so many like dope designs, dope Pokemon. Zoroark. Let's see, what like Buffalant?
I always thought that was a Tauros evolution.
I did too. They played
I didn't
us.
understand where the Tauros
Played us real good. Played us like a fiddle. The monkeys,
monkeys.
They're the exception. They're the exception.
If we ever make a Pokemon least favorite list, I think the monkeys are gonna.
Monkeys
are gonna be a big one.
Monkeys. All the monkeys.
I'm not sure if they could. I'm not sure if we could give all three their own unique slots. I feel like they all fit in the same slot.
They just monkey.
Yeah, monkey.
Just monkey. And then Black and White 2, which I kind of prefer over the original ones, Black and White 1. The first sequel and only sequel in Pokemon. It was based a few years after Black and White 1 storyline. I like how you spawn like on the opposite side of the map, like on the bottom left of the map, and
yeah, that way it doesn't feel like another version of the game.
Yeah,
it feels like its own game.
It wasn't like Emerald. It wasn't like Platinum. It was different. It was strictly different, and like it was a new story as well. Yeah, we got 1, 2. I think we got 3 new gym leaders in that. So Gen 5 has a total of like 10, 11 gym leaders to go with them.
You know what makes me sad? Like, just like going back to like people who like so many people complained about the game. It saddens me that I feel like Game Freak's never gonna take that leap of faith again.
I know.
Like they're never gonna have like a full 150 decks again. They're not gonna have a good long story again. Just because so many people complained about it.
Like they probably won't do a sequel again.
Because like when I hear people complain, Gen 5 is the number one game I think of, and then I think of Gen 7.
I get Gen 7. Gen 5 though, come on.
That was like the first big Pokemon controversy when it came to the games, because no one complained from Gen 1 to Gen 4.
Yeah.
Like everybody on the internet was just like, it's a Pokemon game. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
They're always good. Yeah. And Gen 5 is like, what have they done?
What happened?
Where's Where's Gyarados? He's not in here. Where's Krabby?
Krabby. Okay, listen. Listen, Gen 5 gave us Maractus. They gave us Maractus.
I love Maractus.
What more do you need, people, from Gen 5?
How am I supposed to play this game without Maractus?
I refuse to play any game without Maractus now. It's insane.
I hope the next game has Maractus.
Oh, that would be so lovely.
But yeah, like hearing you say all the good things about the region, it makes me feel like all those are just lost because of the people who complained about it.
And it also looked so good. Like the Pokemon moved.
Yeah.
They had animated sprites in battle. That made them feel more alive. Like, they kind of started that with Platinum when they had, like, the trainers, like, move a bit. Like, had a little animation, like, at the start of battle.
Yeah.
And, you know, they started, I think it was in Emerald, where they started, like, doing, like, little animations.
Yeah, they did that, too.
But Gen 5 added just a continuous loop animation. Like, some of them jumped, like, and stuff like that. Just, like, little quality of life things like that just made it feel more alive.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, just the best story in all of Pokemon, and the sequels added on to that story. And I know you never played the sequels, but in the sequels there was this thing called the Pokemon World Tournament. That is where you could go and you could battle characters from the past games. Like,
yeah, I've heard of that.
The final one, the Champion Cup, you can battle all the champions. Cynthia, Steven, Lance, you can battle Red, battle Blue, you can battle all the champions.
That's
Iris.
Pretty dope, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then the champion of Gen 5 changed. Once a gym leader, now a champion. Iris. I prefer Aldo. But that's fine. That's fine though.
That's funny.
Oh, I just love Gen 5 so much. And of course Hydreigon's in it, my favorite absolute Pokemon. So, though, I will say, problem with Gen 5, levels. Evolution levels. Only thing. The only thing. I could do with Zweilous not evolving at level 64. I could just do that.
Yeah, a lot of Pokemon in that game evolve kind of late.
Yeah. But you know what? I look past it. It's fine. I'm used to it now. There we go. So you're number 3. One of the top 3.
My number 3. Make sure. Yep. My number 3 is Gen 1.
No.
I played that game the most.
Whoa.
Nostalgic reasons. We've talked about Gen 1 so much in this episode. Very good base game. Like all the Pokemon for, of course, nostalgic reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bashed it, so now you can shed some light on it. Go ahead.
I love all the starters. The starters are great. They all have like the reptile feeling going with them.
Yeah.
And they went more of a dinosaur beast-like design, which I always say is my favorite design.
What's your favorite starter?
Charizard.
Disgusting.
Followed by Venusaur follows very closely after.
Absolutely horrid. A disgrace this is.
I can't help it. Like,
you can.
I'm not gonna let other people's opinions deter my opinion on a Pokemon. No, I love Charizard because that's what I used.
Is that your opinion?
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Okay. Well, I think your opinion's wrong.
It's not.
Well,
shut your mouth.
Most people agree with me.
No.
So, the region itself was good. It was hard. It wasn't easy. I had so much fun exploring it for the very first time. I still remember I was playing it in Lowe's while waiting on my dad. Like, I remember walking through, like, the gardening aisle with a Game Boy. I started with Bulbasaur. I remember that. And I was beating the first gym in Lowe's.
Because you were in the garden.
And I remember that. And, like, I was so young. And, like, so I have good memories of Gen 1. And like I said, Gen 1 is the game that I beat the most. I would try to, like, find new teams to beat it with.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself a little bit of a challenge.
I remember you asked
me.
One
time he was over here and I had Beedrill, Pidgeot, Butterfree.
Yeah, the
Blastoise, which he wasn't even my best one on the team. I had, what was his name? Hypno. I had Hypno on that team. And they were all like level 39 and at the Pokemon League.
Asked me to beat
I can't beat this. You want to beat this for me?
Guess what I did?
He beat it. He did it. I'm surprised he beat it. He didn't train. He found a way.
I beat that crap.
So yeah, it's fun. I like to challenge myself until I make it too hard on myself. But yeah, we've said pretty much everything about Gen 1 at this point, so I don't feel like we need to keep on beating a horse that's dead, as they say.
Do they say that?
Yes, there's some kind of expression that goes along with it. Huh. Saltiest Jim Pearl says, my favorite game is Pokemon Black. Ooh. And not just because they introduced N, though that's a big part of it. It also was the first game to take place in the region based off my home country, the U.S.
Yeah!
Proud to be an American!
America!
We're from America.
USA! USA! USA!
And it was what I had on my Nintendo DS when I went abroad, since it was the latest game at the time. Just seeing my superior on the screen actually helped me immensely combating homesickness. It was like taking a little piece of home with me. I will forever treasure it.
We love a little green snake.
Aw, yes.
Little green slithery snake.
I completely understand that. King Mint says, I have to go with Unova. A lot of Gen 5 fans in here. This is interesting.
Come on.
Game was the best story with 2 games, fully fleshed out its characters and plot.
Yep.
The region feels so grand and big compared to others.
Yep.
With giant cities and old ruins that truly make it feel like a country and not a game.
Yep.
Though Alola is a close second.
What?
What? Due to its vibrant colors and unique take on the Pokemon format.
What?
So they can respect the change.
My man pleased me and angered me all in one.
Wow. You got to experience all emotions there.
I did.
So yeah. Pretty cool. Probably either X or Y
low
in
battery.
Black and White. Yep, I have low battery. And X and Y gets a lot of hate, but I love it so much. As we know, it was his most hated. I think all the areas are pretty. That it is. It was an appealing game.
There was one area in, like, I think Neil or in Victory Road. I'm just like, well, this is cute.
I mean, I remember it being an appealing game to look at.
Yeah.
I think all the areas are really pretty, and Team Flare's theme is a bop. And that one fancy boutique in the city is pretty cool too.
Oh, okay, hold on. X and Y boutique theme. Holy Lord. Oh my gosh.
You really like the theme?
Oh my, it is banging. Big old pop. I will play that in the mountains with the windows rolled down. Come on now.
They also said they wish more games had features like that. Referring to the boutique, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I wish more games had the boutique theme in it.
Oh. Just the theme
Just
itself.
Just the theme. Oh, goodness.
Oh yeah. So we're down to our last two.
Top 2.
Yep.
We are an hour 40 in, and we are at the top.
We're gonna make it to 2 hours, boy. Let's go.
All right.
Let's just keep it going. We're so close.
All right. Top 2. So number 2 for me. You know, I was right. We were gonna have the same top 2.
I knew we would.
I don't think they're gonna be in the same order.
I don't think so either. Because I think the next one is Gen 3 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then your top 1 is Gen 4. Spoiler alert.
And I think yours is the opposite. So my number two spot, which I struggled with this with Unova, with which either one should go in the top 2. The one I struggled with Unova, and the one that is placed at number 2 is Generation 3. So you were right. It is Hoenn. Hoenn was my first game, specifically Emerald. My
first was Sapphire.
I saw my friend play it. I think I told the story at the very beginning of this episode. Saw my friend play it, realized, shoot dang, I want that Joker. Went out and got it, played the mess out of it, and I played it so much. And the very first time I played it, I was in the Elite Four with a Swampert level 40 something. The first dude had a cacturn, so I could not beat it.
Oh yeah,
could not beat it. Classic first Pokemon move. You don't train anything else except
just
your
starter. Yep,
just a starter, and you don't battle anyone either. You just
that's how I did it.
Run through the game. And classic also first Pokemon move. Saved inside the Elite Four. Couldn't let my pride be broken by losing. So I kept resetting, never beat it. But yeah, I love the starters, all 2 of them, Blaziken and Swampert, all 2 of them. I love them all, like the best ever. And there's no other starter there with them. It's great. Oh goodness me, just being serious. So it was just a great assortment of Pokemon as well. They added weather in the game, and with Cast 1 they made it change with the weather. And I think I put down in my notes about Hoenn. First off, it's got too much water. Okay, over half the map is water.
I understand that. I understand that complaint.
Like, I get we have Team Land, Team Water, but you know what? Dial it back a bit, Game Freak. Alright, chill out. Pacific Town, never had to go to it ever.
I went to that a lot.
I bet you did. It was just an easier...
There
what was great...
There was a current to the left of it.
All the way to Sleep Point.
Yeah, I had to...
Get the Reggies.
You had to keep doing that over and over again until you chose the right current so you could get Reggie Steel.
Yeah, all the Reggies.
Oh, yeah, that's
how you
started,
them.
Yeah.
That's another thing I love about that time, where they added that puzzle in.
Yes, that puzzle is the best legendary puzzle that they ever had in any Pokemon
and no one
game.
knew how to do it.
I loved it so much. Figuring it out was so freaking cool.
Like, if you didn't have the guide, you were stuck.
And I had the guide, so when I found out about the Reggies, and then also this book had the translation of every Braille, it was like... shoot dang, like I need to go to this place and decipher what these ruins are saying. And that was so freaking cool, because they don't tell you where to go, they don't tell you anything. It's just, if you happen to stumble upon a cave with weird writings and you know that they're Braille,
if you just so happen to have a Railord in front and a Relicanth in the back of your party.
Yeah, I love that. I love not knowing what to do. I love how it's random.
Let me tell you, like, when in Emerald, where you go to the Cave of Origin in Sutopolis and you see Wallace there, and he's like, oh yeah, we need Rayquaza. First off, I'm like, what the frick is a Rayquaza?
Yeah.
He's like, where would it be? And like, he listed 3 options. One of them was the Sky Temple. I didn't know what that was. I'm like, probably not that. I've never heard of that before in my life. So I chose the Cave of Origin. He goes, well, that's here. And it's not here. And the other one was somewhere else. I can't remember. But the other one was Sky Temple. He said, Sky Temple? That's it! I'll meet you there, Dips. I'm just like...
Yeah, I didn't know where to go either.
Where do I go?
Like, where's the Sky Temple?
I spent so long looking for that Joker.
I had a feeling it was in the water, so it didn't take me that.
I had no clue. I was a stupid child. I had no idea where it could be. I searched the region up and down. And, you know, it's on the water route next to Pacific Log. But you had to, like, maze your way through the labyrinth of rocks that's there. Wasn't that big. So it's very easy to find nowadays. But, but at that time, I wasn't looking at every single
kid,
tile.
it's kind of hard.
I'm like, where's this big old tower thing at? Where's it at? I was so convinced it was in Evergrande City, which I didn't have waterfall to get there. I'm just like, I need to get up this waterfall. How do I do this? So I was a dumb child, but yeah, it was so dope. And the cutscene of Rayquaza coming down and quelling the fight between Groudon and Kyogre, that was peak cinema. And I also wrote in here, trumpets galore. Trumpets.
Oh yeah, I love the
galore.
trumpet music.
So many trumpets. And I honestly believe Hoenn had some of the best music in all of Pokemon throughout the entire game.
Oh yeah.
The champion theme, the Elite Four, Gym Leader, Wild Battle, Slate Port City.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I loved it so much.
I love the music too, which I will get to.
The Evil Team battle music. Oh, music does a lot for me.
Talking about Rayquaza, I had another memory of, this is before Diamond and Pearl came out. I was in Hobby Lobby with my dad.
Heck yeah.
I was just going everywhere with my dad with my Game Boy, and I fought Rayquaza for the first time in Hobby Lobby.
Whew.
And I accidentally killed it.
Oh.
And that was before I knew you could just save the game and try again.
Yeah.
So I just went the game without the Rayquaza.
Swag. Also, Emerald was the very first game I got Pokemon up to level 100. I got my Swampert up to level 100, and I got a Rayquaza up to level 100. So, big milestone for me. But, so your number 2 slot. Tell us.
Sinnoh.
Oh.
So
Wow.
Gen 4 is my second slot. And it's very hard between Gen 3 and Gen 4. Because like I said, Gen 3 is my first game. Gen 4 is my first game that came out that I pre-ordered and got to wait for and was excited to get the very first day it came out. Music, it is the game with my most favorite music. I will give it that. It has the best music, in my opinion. Not just for nostalgic reasons, but I remember the first time ever hearing it being like, oh my god, this music is great. Like, I would stay in one level and just hold my DS to my ear and just listen to the music.
Canalave, yeah.
Yeah, I would just listen to that music. Snow Point Temple.
Oh, come on, I was hoping you'd say that.
So much fun. I love the music. Designs, thought were great. Loved all the designs. There wasn't one that I hate. The added evolutions at the end of the decks, all those were good. I loved them. I can see why some might dislike them because a lot of them just get overweight. I've noticed. Tangled, like Rhyperior, yeah, Magmortar. A lot of them just get fat. But that never bothered me. I'm like, okay, this is just a new final evolution. That's pretty cool. The Pokemon, I didn't really play that much, so kind of made it. And it introduced my boy Porygon Z.
There you go.
Which was my favorite of the evolutions, seeing them all together in a Pokedex for the first time. This is also the game that broke my first Nintendo DS. Destroyed the touchscreen on it, just putting so much hours in that. I remember being at Sonic at one point, trying to beat a Pokemon contest with Mr. Mime, and I couldn't. Yeah, my Pokemon was going all over the place. I could not get this. I could not do it properly because the touchscreen was broken at that point. God, I put so much hours into that game. And I did not want to reset it. I just loved everything I had. I remember you go into that garden where that would change every day, and new encounters will spawn.
Oh, the Trophy Garden. Yeah.
I remember to always check that day, and there was always there was a good period where there was always something that I needed.
Yeah.
I remember Pichus were there, and I'm like, oh yes, I need
a lot
Pichus.
of baby Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah, I needed the babies. I was trying to complete the full decks.
Woo!
That was my goal after I, beat the game. Started transferring over Pokemon from Gen 3, which I thought was so cool. I'm like, yes, I can have them in a DS game now. Dialga and Palkia.
Woo!
Awesome legendaries. Giratina. Freaking dope. I loved Arceus so much. I hate that you couldn't get it legit legitimately at that time. It's like, oh, people don't know how to walk upstairs, so we'll just keep it out of the game.
Not my time.
I hated that, but I also loved how much freaking legendaries there were in the game. So when I did find out about the other legendaries, my friend had an action replay, which I didn't know which one. I didn't know what it was at the time, but he showed me, and then he started showing me Pokemon I didn't even know were in the game. And like for Arceus, he didn't even show me Arceus. He's just like, let me show you where to go. Let me put this item in the game with this action replay and tell you where to go. And I want you to see for yourself, you know, something really cool. And I saw Arceus for the first time.
Oh man!
I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then I used the walk through anything cheat to get to Shaman.
There you go.
To get to Darkrai, Cresselia even. Collecting all the legendaries that I thought were so cool that I didn't know existed. Nothing but good things to say about Sinnoh. I have nothing negative to say about Sinnoh. I really don't. I can't think of one thing I disliked about Gen 4. So good. Nostalgic reasons, but also everything else. Music. I love the map. All the Pokemon designs. Like, just such an amazing generation. So that's why it's number 2 on my list. On this screenshot, I don't have their name, but I'll probably re-screenshot it later. My favorite has to be either X and Y or Sun and Moon. Back to the bottom of our list, unfortunately. Sun was the first Pokemon game I ever played. I have super fond memories of it. I still haven't beaten it yet, though. I got stuck on the grass battle because I had like one fire type. RB.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I always like enjoy reading people saying this was my first game because, like,
yeah,
I mean, our top 2 are like our first games.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, we completely
we're
understand from that standpoint.
Yeah, we're the same.
Oh, that was actually our last comment.
Oh shoot.
Which is not too surprising because this is our longest egg video we've ever had.
Shoot dang.
So like
2 hour long, baby.
This is draw it out, but let's go to our top 1.
Number 1. Also, if you made it this far, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Be sure to like and subscribe if you like the content. We have discussions like this all the time.
Oh yeah.
Not so much that go this long, but hey.
Yeah, usually they only last an hour. This one, we really need him to get Squirtle, so we're keeping it going and just dragging out the conversation.
Happening. I'm over triple odds.
I'm not even really trying to drag it out. It's just this conversation just has so much to cover.
It does.
And then also like exploring other people's opinions as well. So, I mean, just a long conversation in general.
So at the top 1, and if you've been following along, if you watched through the whole video, you should know. My top favorite region of all time is indeed the Sinnoh region. And it's gonna be so hard to explain because you've said it all.
Yeah,
already.
I did. Whenever you say good things about a gen that I also like, it's like I don't want to just repeat them.
Yeah,
but it's true.
So Gen 4 was... It probably is the game that I spent the most time in. I remember the first time I played Diamond and Pearl. Went through that game. Went to go, play through the entire game. I saw Dialga for the first time. I'm like, oh my god. All I had was Pokeballs, because I didn't know I'd be fighting a legendary at this point.
Yeah.
I threw a Pokeball. My first Pokeball I ever caught. I caught it. At a Dialga. I caught it first ball, Pokeball. I'm just like, that wasn't hard. So, and then of course seeing at the top of Spiel Pillar, like the red, green, and blue things going across the sky, and those little snapshots of
yeah, that was so
spanning
cool.
across the region as well. I'm just like, oh my god, this is
that was so dope.
I'm finna die here.
I love that too.
I'm about to die. If I don't do this, the region's gonna die. So that was amazing. Kind of seeing Mount Coronet in the middle of the region, and you pretty occasionally go through the mountain at different levels. I love that.
Yeah.
And of course the music in the game. Holy lordy.
Best music.
Snow Point Temple. The Elite Four gym leaders.
Eterna Forest is another big one. That's so high up there.
I was curious if you were going to mention that.
I love Eterna Forest. That's I mean, I'm not gonna list every single song I love in Sinnoh, so I just like narrowed it down to like 2 or
all
3.
of them.
But,
Sunny Shore, oh my lord.
So many good songs.
So I love Diamond and Pearl, and I played Diamond and Pearl, got all the way through, got to Cynthia, couldn't beat Cynthia because of a stupid level 60 freaking 6.
Really good champion.
Doll Chomp.
My favorite champion.
The best champion in my mind. She is the best champion. It was the first game ever in my life where I tried to beat Cynthia, couldn't do it. I did it a number of times, couldn't beat her, and it was the first game. I'm like, man, I need cheats for this. I can't beat this. I can't do it. It was so cool, and of course, and then Platinum came out. Platinum, my favorite of the 3. Just cause like it was the same story, but just different enough. Like, you got to go to the distortion world,
yeah,
where Giratina was, and fight Giratina. And Giratina, one of the best battle themes in all of Pokemon. I love it so. Next to Ho-Oh. Oh my god. I love Giratina. I love the trio, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. That trio's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the plethora of legendaries in that game is just amazing as well. And then in Platinum, they brought it back, the Battle Frontier.
I love the Battle Frontier.
I remember spending so much time in that area. I loved it so much. I wish I completed all the facilities there. I never did, which
I tried. It was very hard.
It's very difficult. Yeah.
Me talking about Gen 3 actually, because I didn't have Platinum.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Battle Frontier was also really challenging.
And then Gen 4 is just also home to a lot of favorite of my Pokemon. Lucario, Frostlash, Gliscor. I love Mamoswine. I love Glaceon. I just love a lot of them. And it's so again, and then the Gen 4 sprites. I love those.
Good, yeah.
I love those sprites so very much. So Sinnoh holds a very, very, very special place in my heart. That it would feel wrong if I didn't put it number 1, just because it's the game I love so much and the game I spent so much time in. So that's why it's number 1. I love it so much.
Fully understand.
I could never get over playing Sinnoh, unless it was BDSP. BDSP has no mention in why Sinnoh is number 1. I had to ask myself, I'm like, is BDSP gonna drop Sinnoh down for me?
Oh wow, you had that thought?
Yeah. I just didn't like BDSP. It was just a copy paste.
It was a copy paste.
Copy paste over.
But I really hate shiny. I really hate the eggs in this game.
I don't know, but I couldn't let BDSP just destroy Sinnoh for me.
Yeah, don't let it.
Because I just have too many good things about Sinnoh.
Yeah.
And BDSP is just very minuscule to how much I love Sinnoh.
Right.
So I love it so much. Here's Sinnoh. It's so great. BDSP's over here. It's included because it has to be, but I'm pushing it away.
I feel like we both wanted
my forgotten
actual 3D, a real almost
I wanted Sword and Shield level stuff.
More yeah. If it was Sword and Shield designs, this game would be so much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because we already had this on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a remake. It's really just
because all the remakes have been Leaf Green, Fire Red, Leaf Green. It was Kanto with Hoenn graphics.
Yeah.
Gen 4, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It was Johto with Sinnoh graphics.
And that's what people were asking for. When we said remakes, those are the types of remakes we wanted. We didn't just want the DS game on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which is what we got.
That's what we got.
So there was a big miscommunication there. So when the trailer dropped, if you watch any trailer reaction video, everyone's reaction to this game, BDSP, is, wait.
It started.
What?
If you remember, it went back through the years, through all the games, and it stopped on the year Diamond and Pearl came out, and
so much hype.
Everyone was so yes, and then like explore the Sinnoh region once more or something like that, and be like, yeah.
And then you see the sprite of the character,
and then the Chibi Dawn showed up. We're just like, wait, huh?
It looks like Cooking Mama from the Nintendo DS. Everyone was in disgust. Everyone was like, what?
I remember because we were in a group chat. We were texting about it, and
I was doing the same thing. I was like, yes, 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 yes. I was texting the whole time while watching.
And then the Chibi showed up. I look at my phone. I'm just like,
I see the Chibi. I'm like, wait,
what?
And then there was a big period where I'm upset. I'm like, oh. No.
Listen, Legends Arceus saved that presentation. I'm just saying.
If Legend Arceus wasn't in that same trailer, they probably would have got the most backlash they've ever gotten.
Oh yeah.
Legends are and then after the full trailer was released,
It's like, but wait, there's more.
100% of the conversation was Legends Arceus, Legends Arceus.
No one
talked about.
Ain't no one talking about.
Everyone
BDSP.
forgot about the remakes. Everyone was like, "That's disappointing." But have you seen Legends Arceus?
I will say BDSP. They let us get Arceus.
And like Legends Arceus is like the Gen 4 game that
You could argue.
you know, it's like 3D sprites.
That's the remake I wanted.
Yeah. I wish they had the Legends Arceus sprites in this game. Like, that would be so freaking cool.
You know what? If they never came out with BDSP and only Legends Arceus, I'd be content.
Yeah.
I'd be content. That's a better remake than this.
Have to agree. So,
Go ahead.
we're down to my last one.
Talk about Hoenn.
Gen 3.
Talk about that Hoenn.
Gen 3 was my first game. I already mentioned a lot of nostalgic factors in it. The Regis, best legendary exploration in any of the games. Like, they almost had the same idea with Sinnoh, but then they backtracked and said, oh, players aren't going to know how to do that. Let's take it out of the game entirely.
Uh-huh.
That being the Azure Flute, which is how you get Arceus.
Yeah.
So they put it in the game, but did not make it available because they thought it might be too hard. And that was the first sign of hand-holding in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, kids won't be able to figure it out. Let's just not put it in.
Yeah.
Which is not true, because the Regis is the most difficult way to find the legendaries, and I did it at 8 years old. Maybe kids are stupider than when I was 8. Maybe I was just like, mastermind intelligence compared to today's 8-year-olds. That's totally possible. But that 8-year-old is still me today. I want to find those Regis again in a different way.
Yeah.
I can do it. I don't need no hand-holding. Gen 3, you complain about the water, which, until I learned about max repels, I also hated the water. But I will say,
That's money.
There was so much exploration with the water because you could dive, and like you could find like secret caves you didn't know existed.
You don't like dive.
I did.
You don't.
I did like dive.
You do not.
I did like dive.
You do not
Yeah.
like dive.
I thought it was cool going in the water, finding deep underwater Pokemon you can only.
Oh wait,
find
you
in
don't
water.
like rock climb.
I hate rock.
You don't like rock climb. That's the one you don't like.
That's just the extra HM slot. If it didn't take up an HM, yes, sure, whatever.
Alright, listen, if I ever complete your game, expect a lot of dive.
Just get rid of the HM moves.
Nope.
Like, just make it abilities.
Nope, I'm gonna
That's what I'm
specifically
doing
make
for your
only
game.
one
We're
HM.
making each other games.
I'm only gonna make one HM, it's gonna be dive.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I like dive. So exploring the ocean, it felt like it took forever because it felt like I had to come back to the land eventually. So
Yeah.
I explore all of it all at one time. There was just so much out there that I haven't seen yet.
There was one time in Emerald when I was young. I was trying to find my way to a city, I think. I was trying to find Sutopolis. And I was just... There was one spot where I was just surrounded by blue. Nothing else. Like, no dive spots, no, like, little island rock things. I was just surrounded by blue. I stop. And I'm just like...
Where do I go?
Where am I? Where have I gone?
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the water. Some areas there's like no specific direction to go.
And
You
the
kinda have to
map,
guess.
it isn't really precise. It just
You were in
shows
this
you,
big
like,
body of water.
You're on this route. It spans this wide. Good luck. I'm just like, you little. Oh Lord.
I remember. Okay, before I had my own game, this is the same game that my friend Leah had. and she would let me borrow her game every now and then. So, like, the first few areas of the game, very nostalgic for me personally, because that was just, you know, the area that, you know, young kids get stuck at the most, is like around the first gym.
Yeah.
Where do I go? You don't know at first that you have to go back to the boat, and they take you to an island. But when you do figure that out, it's so cool. You're on an own little island.
Yeah.
In the Game Boy days, that's so fun. That's so cool. It's like, oh, I'm stranded here until I figure this out. Which you weren't stranded, but you can kind of like imagine in your own little creativity.
Did you know? I figured something out about Gen 3 that I never knew about. I found it out like months ago.
What's that?
It's so you know how I think it's like an emerald or something, to where like when you leave the first gym city, Rustboro, like your rival's there to be like, oh, hey, there's a sea captain. You got a boat. He can take you to Dewford.
Yeah.
Like it's at the end of the city. Well, and like you can't really avoid that. It's like a chance. Like when you try to leave the city, they come up to you like, hey yo. There's a way around it. If you heal in Petalburg, go all the way through Rustboro, beat the gym, and go to the grass, like, to the upper right of the city, like near the cave. And if you die there, if you faint, you'll be sent all the way back to Petalburg. So you'll kind of, like, skip out on that, like, encounter. But when you go to the cottage, your rival shows up there.
Oh, my controller died.
Look at him go!
Oh, no!
He's zooming! But no, your rival shows up there. And, like, tells you, like, oh, so you, like, found the cottage or whatever. Like, I've never seen that before.
Huh. Well, I get, because they don't really expect anyone to get to it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they programmed it, anyways, just in case you did find a way around it somehow.
Yeah. Did I take my Pokemon back? I did not. Okay.
I loved all the designs. As you mentioned, there's only one starter, Trico.
Excuse me? Never heard that Pokemon before.
Skeptile was the one I would choose every single time. Well, not every single time. I loved Blaziken and I loved Swampert.
Go ahead.
I've used both of them in gameplays, but my first ever Pokemon was a Trico.
You're going down. Going downhill.
That was the first Pokemon that I would try to beat the entire game with. Kyogre I thought was so cool. Oh. Like I used that and Skeptile on my first Elite Four playthrough. So just the main thing is nostalgic reasons, honestly. Yeah. First game, first love. Spent so much time with it. Even when I ran out of stuff to do, I still played the game. Tried to collect every berry that's in the game. Like I would plant berries.
Good luck getting that lychee berry
in the middle town, and just
Good luck with that lychee berry, bro.
Like I tried to get so much berries, and eventually
I started doing. I'm
like, okay, now that I did that, I'm gonna like do all the contests. Like I milked that game, man. Like I did everything I could. I tried to complete the Pokedex, which you can't without Fire Red and Leaf Green, which I got. And then it turns out you need Johto Pokemon, and there was no way to get certain Johto Pokemon. Like I don't think it was possible to get Hoppip.
And then like if you complete the game, you can get one of the Johto starters in Gen 3. Yeah. Do you know that?
Actually, where do you get that at? I'm trying to remember.
You get it from the professor if you complete the national dex.
Oh, well, I never got to complete the national dex.
Yeah, if you complete the national dex, you go show it to the professor. He'll have one of the Johto starters for you.
Because I think you need a Game Freak to... Or, not Game Freak. You need a Game Shark to complete the national dex. So I just never got to do that. But yeah.
Goodness
so much.
Me.
This was a lot of fun, revisiting our favorite generations and your favorite generations.
As well.
As we come to our last eggs hatching, hopefully you get a shiny Squirtle in this last batch. Oh, let's find out.
You're not making my pain go away.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I gave you 2 hours.
What does it look like? There it is. Alright, just to make sure.
You're just not getting it.
I'm gonna start checking my Pokédex after every video we do now. I'm over triple odds.
You're over. Yeah, you're over.
I'm over triple odds. This is great.
I'm on Pidgey.
I love that we had this idea. It's great.
Thank you guys for reaching out, leaving your comments. We're going to ask more questions in the future, specifically Pokemon-related questions.
Yes.
So make sure to answer, and we'll read your comments as well.
Yes.
Links to everybody down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Even if you only watch parts of it, and then you decided to watch this end, where I'm thanking you guys for watching it.
Thanks for watching the end.
Yeah, thanks for watching all of it. If you watched all of it, that's a lot of watch time. Thank you for that.
Go outside.
As always, I'm Drew.
And as always, I am the Raisin.
And we're Shiny Hunters, y'all. Check out our other videos.
I'm Hunto.
And follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, so you can join in on this conversation.
Answer the questions, yeah.
See you guys later.
Peace out. God, I hate life.